While we're on the subject of damage, let's talk a little bit about death. Because there are two different kinds of lawsuits that may be involved after an injured plaintiff's death that law students have a tendency to confuse. There was a time when a lawsuit was regarded as so personal an item of property that it died with the plaintiff. So if you negligently injured me and I died before I succeeded in getting a judgment against you, the case died with me. Nowadays, most jurisdictions recognize that a lawsuit is an item of property like any other item of property, so that when I die, my possessions, my car, my wristwatch, my goat, will all be inherited by whoever I leave my goods to in my will. If I don't have a will, the law of intestate distribution, which you'll study in another course, decides who gets my stuff after I'm dead. And in most states, my lawsuit against you for negligence is just another item of property that's inherited with the rest of my stuff. That lawsuit that I have against you for injuring me, let's say you broke my leg and then 2 weeks later I died. Maybe I died from the broken leg. Maybe I died from other causes altogether. But when I died, I owned a lawsuit against you, or a right to sue you for the broken leg. And that lawsuit outlives me. It's inherited by whoever inherits my stuff. So the lawsuit survives me. Properly, it's called a surviving personal injury action. But nowadays, some lawyers, some judges, some writers call it a survival action. That's the lawsuit that I owned when I died that is now inherited by whoever inherits the rest of my stuff. Don't confuse that with a wrongful death action. A little over 100 years ago, the English Parliament enacted a law called Lord Campbell's Act. And the law said that if I negligently cause someone else's death, that person's spouse, children, or parents might have a lawsuit against me for the money that they lost as a result of the death of the person who ordinarily provided for them. Every state in the United States has adopted a law very similar to Lord Campbell's Act, and these are called wrongful death statutes. And a wrongful death lawsuit is a lawsuit that's brought by the survivor of a person who was negligently killed. So if you're driving at an unreasonable rate of speed and your car hits me and kills me, when I die, I may own a lawsuit against you for the pain that you inflicted before I died, and whoever inherits my stuff inherits that lawsuit, and that's the survival action that we talked about before. But in addition, my wife and kids have lost some money because if I had lived, I would have continued to support them. And so they may have a wrongful death lawsuit against you for the money that my death cost them. And while we're on the subject of damages, let's finish it off with a couple of interesting twists. Several jurisdictions, there's still an...
At this time, please turn the tape to side 2.